Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we're checking out a video titled My First Experience Using the NHS, American in England. So, NHS obviously is superb to whatever nonsense that the United States doesn't want to create. There's always two complaints I'll always have about the United States. I love the United States and I'll forever, love the United States. But there's always going to be two complaints that I'll forever ever have, and it is healthcare and school. They're two of the easiest ways to become bankrupt in the United States, right? Take that from me. Two of the easiest ways. If you're not rich, you're gonna one day have issues because of healthcare or school. Well, school is technically avoidable. You just don't go to school, and if you don't go to school, you can't get a like a superb job. I don't have to go down the rabbit hole, right? But you get the point. Those two things are two things I definitely just strongly think needs change in the United States, even if it's just a little bit, just 5% of a change. It needs something, definitely. Just being in the United States and actually going to a school, let's say you're from Florida and you go to a university in California or something sort of like that, you got to pay more money because you're out of state. It's really complicated. Let's not talk about it, but thank you guys for watching this video. Link for the original video will be in the description. She has about 917 subscribers. You guys can go over there, show some love to her. And yeah, Not Quite British. That's the name of the channel, so pretty cool. But yeah, without further ado, man, let's check it out.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim, and this video will be about my first time using the NHS. So the NHS, for those of you who don't know, stands for the National Health Service. Okay. It is a public healthcare system here in the UK. So I will be talking about my experience and in comparison to my experience using private healthcare in the US.
Oh God.
So the first time I used NHS was actually a few years ago. This was before I moved to the UK. I was here visiting and I had gotten sick. So I didn't want to go to the hospital, so I decided the best thing to do was go to the local GP's office. So I called the office and I was able to get an appointment within a few days. I was told that I had to pay a fee because I wasn't a citizen, but I was fine with that because I needed to be seen. So I went to the GP's office and I had to fill out some paperwork, my name, the address where I was staying, and any medications I was taking, along with any medical issues. So after filling out this paperwork, I had to sit in the waiting area. There were other people waiting as well, and I noticed that there was a display screen, and when it was time for someone to be seen by the doctor, this display screen would have the person's name and room number.
Right.
So I had never seen that before at all in my experience with using healthcare in the US. Usually what happens in the US is that a nurse comes into the waiting area, she yells your name, Kimberly, and then, you walk back with her, and then she takes your weight, height, and blood pressure. After that, she walks you to one of the little private rooms where you're actually seen by the doctor. And then you have to go in there and wait again for the doctor. So that is one of the things that annoys me about using the healthcare in the US is that you have to wait twice. So you wait in the waiting area, and then you wait in the small private room to be seen by the doctor. So I remember one time I was waiting so long that I got bored and I got kind of curious about like some of the in the little rooms they have like drawers with different medical equipment and things in there, or not really equipment, but little medical tools. So I noticed in one of the drawers there was a like one of those reflex hammers that they use to like hit your knee and check your reflexes. So I thought to myself, I wonder if I can hit my knee, and my own knee, and if it will kick out. So I actually did that while I was waiting. I probably shouldn't have reached in the drawer and got the reflex hammer, but I did that, and my knee kicked out. So I found out I had good reflexes and that I could actually use the hammer on my own knee. Anyway, so yeah, one of the things
That's crazy. That is so crazy. But no,
What I
that's
did like
crazy.
about using the NHS was that the doctor was already in the room. This was amazing to me because, like I said, this never happens in the US, and the doctor was already in there. It's almost like the room is his own uh, private office. He has a computer in there, a desk in
Right,
there.
right.
In the US, that's usually separate. They do have the little private rooms where you're seen by the doctor, but then usually the doctor has another like personal office down the hall somewhere else. So it looks like in using NHS, they kind of combine the two. So like I said, the doctor is already in there, which was amazing. So we talked about 10 minutes about some of the symptoms I was experiencing, and he was able to provide me with some medication. And so the other convenient thing was I like the fact that the pharmacy, or I think here they call it the chemist, it was already connected to the GP's office. So I was able to um, get the prescription.
Hold on. First of all, back it up right there. Chemist, and also it's connected. That's a shocker. That's a shocker. You got to go to
Here they
CVS.
call it the chemist. It was already connected to the GP's office. So I was able to um, get the prescription, walk it over to the pharmacist, and I was able to get the prescription filled um, within, I think
Immediately.
it maybe took about 30 minutes or so. It really didn't take too long. And plus, I was
Okay.
willing to wait for it because I needed to get well. So I got the prescription, and I took the prescription for about 2 days, and I felt so much better. So that was my experience using NHS. It was a
Efficiency.
positive experience, and I was able to feel better for the remainder of my time or my visit in the UK. But this was my experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.
Nah, all I can say is efficiency. Like, she ain't said nothing else but efficiency. Like, there's just a few points that she mentioned, and they're all about efficiency. Like, literally, you go to a doctor and you go in there, right? You chilling, you vibing, and you sit down, right? Somebody comes out, you're like, yo, what's good, homie? Okay, they're not gonna be like that. Somebody comes out and be like, Sir Jonathan, or last name, likely. They come out and be like, Blake, Mr. Blake, or whatever, something. I don't know how to be like those people. They come out, they say Blake, whatever, right? And then you go into that room, and then you got to be waiting for the doctor again. It's a little bit on the more nightmarish side. But if I'm being absolutely honest, I think in the United States, often you get thrown into sequences of things being done instead of it just flowing like what she explained with the NHS. Because I'm really surprised about that, because you go to a normal doctor and they have the pharmacy literally right there, so you can actually fill your prescription immediately. That is unheard of. Like, I'm very shocked at what she said. They're called chemists. That was a big one too as well. That's very shocking, because I ain't never heard of that before. But the reality is that is what they do. That you have to be a chemist in order to actually, what I'm saying, because you got to know how to work them chemicals, right? So it's actually a big shock that this system flows so well, right? I personally was not too hyped about a 30-minute wait time, right? But at the same time, the 30-minute wait time might have been because of some other issue. But a 30-minute wait time in a pharmacy actually seems a little overkill, in my humble opinion. It seems overkill. You guys can let me know if that is the typical norm for 30 minutes to wait in a pharmacy, because I just felt as if that was a little bit too much. But y'all can let me know. But this was a pretty short and direct video. All I can say is efficiency. And shout out to the NHS. It's good to have systems that are put in place to just make it a lot easier for people to actually take care of their health. It's that simple. Even if it's a money scheme situation, can we just make it a little bit more that it revolves around the people who are utilizing it? That would be very, very, very nice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe. And yeah, I'm out of here. Peace.